What is up, fight fans? So I got more news and information for you with Esports Boxing Club, as well as new screenshots. And no matter the good or the bad, it is my job to report that information to you guys. Now, without any further ado, this is Edward, and you're watching Boxing Fanatico. Alright guys, so we have the new screenshots, and I want to go ahead and talk about the screenshots first before I talk about the bad news. Now, with the screenshots that we got, I really enjoy all of them, except one brings up just a few red flags, but we're going to go ahead and talk about it. And I'm hoping that I'm wrong, but let's see. The first one we're going to talk about is this one here, which I absolutely love. It's a pulled back visual of the ring. You can see this is a massive crowd kind of scenario. I love this because this is what I want. This is probably the #1 place that I would want to fight in if I'm using this even online or what have you. I want to be in a major arena. I want to feel like I'm in a pay-per-view mega fight. And it's for the world title. I definitely want to do this. And now knowing that it's for the WBC titles and the IBFs, just getting that authenticity, the anticipation just continues to build and build. Then we're going to move on to this screenshot here, which is elaborating just more on the screenshot that was given to me to release it earlier before Esports Boxing Club released it themselves. But this is just showing Arturo Gatti. So you can see Arturo Gatti right there, and you can see Nigel Benn. It looks to be in the same match as that exclusive screenshot that I was given before. I love the textures here. I love everything about this. It's showing how detailed the character models are. But other than that, it's not anything crazy that we haven't really seen from them. Now, the one that kind of is giving me a pause is this screenshot here. Now, the cool thing about this screenshot, I'm gonna give credit where credit is due, is I love that you can start seeing damage buildup on the face. If you look at Kid Galad's face, you can see that there's damage there. He looks like he has a black eye, a bruised nose. In line with the bruised eye, you can see that basically Josh Warrington is having his way with Kid Galad. But what bothers me here is the positioning of the hands of Josh Warrington. Why is his right hand dropped so low? Normally it should not be that way. And the way his other hand is positioned also doesn't go with the fact that his hand is dropped so low. There's a disconnect between the snapshot of this shows a disconnect between where his hand placements should be. His right hand should be up, and his other hand should be more in a hooking motion where his glove is turned 90 degrees as opposed to being straight on. Unless, of course, he is throwing a jab and he is in the middle of throwing a right hook. Then, okay. But if he is throwing that right hook, he's throwing a very wide right hook. Now, I'm not saying that it's, out of the realm that this may be an onslaught animation. You have to understand, it's not fight night where every right hook looks the same, every jab looks the same. They've confirmed that every jab won't look the same, every right hook won't look the same. So it's possible that he has rocked Kid Galad. Kid Galad is rocked, and he's just doing an onslaught where he's throwing caution to the wind, throwing defense to the wind, and he's just throwing barrages of punches at Kid Galad, and they caught a snapshot of him throwing those barrages of punches to Kid Galad, which is why he's in such an open stance. That is very possible. Now, I've heard people complain about the fact that Josh Warrington is a left-handed fighter. They have him in an orthodox stance instead of a southpaw stance. But to me, that's whatever. I feel that in the game, you'll be able to switch to whatever you're more comfortable with, as opposed to what the stance of the fighter actually is. So that to me didn't matter. What mattered was just how low his right hand is and how straight his left hand is and not turned. It doesn't seem like he's pulling away from a hook. It seems like he's pulling away from a jab, but his body stance is just so open. So my assumption is that this can just be that he's throwing a barrage of punches, and that is why he just has this open stance. But I did get pause when I saw this clip. But it still looks beautiful. The graphics still look amazing. Now let's get to the bad news. And the bad news is that the trailer that they said was going to release today, I'm sorry, not today, but this week, is not going to release this week. That's right, guys. Unfortunately, this is what Steel City Interactive tweeted. And it wasn't even tweeted by Esports Boxing Club. It was tweeted by Steel City Interactive's Twitter page. And this is what it says. Fight fans, update on the trailer, Steam, and website. Because remember, they're also doing their Steam page and they're also updating their website for Esports Boxing Club material. These will be released over the coming days as we make some final adjustments due to a licensing issue. The team are hard at work in delivering this for you. We are all incredibly grateful for your support. Now, the words "the coming days" has now turned it into a time frame thing, has now moved it from a time frame thing to a it can happen anytime, there's no set date for it thing. And that's a little bit disappointing. Obviously, we want it so badly, but you have to understand the dynamics. This is an indie company, and not everything is going to be so perfect in terms of, hey, Thursday this is going to happen and boom, we're going to release it. They're working, you can tell they're working hard at the game, but they may jump the gun in terms of thinking when, they'll be ready to do something. This might be a learning lesson for them, knowing that until they have everything that they need, they won't make any hardcore announcements, which I appreciate the fact that they said coming days, even though it's gutting a little bit because we want to see it now. But they're saying this because they learned their lesson in the fact that when they put a time frame on it and they couldn't, adhere to that time frame, they don't want to make that same mistake again and say, well, next week we'll do it. So the coming days is a little bit bothersome because you want a specific date, but you do have to give this company a little bit of leeway. They're not a AAA company, they're an indie company, and they're doing their best to give us this game. 9 years, we had to wait 9 years, guys. Don't jump on their backs for a trailer that hasn't released, that should have released this week. Just sit back, relax, breathe. The game hasn't come out yet. Just sit back, relax. Let's wait for them to give us the information when they're ready. I don't want them to give me a trailer that's not ready, because that could start setting a perception that's negative if they didn't get the things that they needed to get. They probably have a boxer that this is actually could be good news. Licensing issue. That could mean that they want to reveal a major boxer and they're trying to be hush-hush about it, but they're trying to finalize that contract. I don't know. I don't want to say this and put it on them that this is what's happening and give you guys a false perception, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Just give them a break. Let them bring this trailer out when it's ready. It's going to be soon. We have November, and then December is when the game comes out. Remember, guys, when I showed you the screenshot, the build was 0.8, which means that they are close to finalizing this game. So we should be seeing a trailer soon. Just relax and just know that as soon as that trailer releases, I will be hooking you guys up with that information. Well, so far, that is all the information that we have. That's all the news on Esports Boxing Club so far for this week. Hopefully the coming days just means a few days and not a few weeks or even a month, so that we can whet our appetites with this gameplay trailer. You want to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell, because I'll be hooking you up with that information once it drops. That's it for today, guys. This is Boxing Fanatico. I'm Edward, and I'm out.